Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-news.com. Welcome to 2023. I can't believe it. You know, back in early January of 2013, I said to Mike, hey, I know we've been blogging, but this whole video thing, I think this is more for us. Mike, you're a better verbal communicator than you are a written one. Let's get behind a camera, or maybe in front of one. In any case, 10 years of doing this sort of once a week, I think.
Yeah,
isn't that
baby.
Crazy? In any case, welcome to 2023.
And this is it.
Oh no, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We still have at least 5 more years in us. But don't count on that. Who knows? Geez, this is a bad intro. Let's talk about viewer-submitted recipes. We are going back to the grab bag, back to the magical Excel formula that randomizes all the ones that were sent in. This is viewer-submitted recipe number 2. It's from a gentleman named Mike Miller, and it's a dry stout recipe.
That's what it said.
That's what it said.
Yep.
I love the mic.
Yes.
You brew. Go.
It's a pretty unique recipe for a dry stout. So you taste, and I'll go through the recipe. I'm going to give the recipe in percentages, and then but the full recipe will be in the description box. So it's 60% Maris Otter.
Okay.
And it's 15% flaked barley, 15% roasted barley, then 5% of malted oats, and 5% rye malt.
Yeah.
So, so an interesting blend. Typically, like the most classic of classic dry stouts is nothing more than base malt, flaked barley, and roasted barley. But this one's got a little bit more dynamics, introducing a little rye malt to change it up. And then some oats and barley in here too. So that's cool. The hops, this first wort hopping of Challenger, a little less than a full ounce there. And then at 15 minutes, there's Challenger and EKG again. And then with 10 minutes to go, another charge of EKG. And this baby was fermented with West Yorkshire yeast from Y Yeast. And I was fortunate enough to be able to source it. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to source it because sometimes that one's a tough one to find.
True.
But our shop had that. The targeted starting gravity of this beer was 1056. That's the recipe that that Mr. Mike Miller gave to us. I came a little bit stronger than that at about 1066. Just because the thing is, I was scaling this recipe down to 3 gallons and probably, anyway, who cares? It's a stout. It's beautiful. We're going to go with that. And then it finished off for me about 1020, so that's like around 6-something%.
Yep. What was the targeted final on the recipe?
I don't think there was one on the recipe sheet. So, at least if there was, I didn't look at it because I don't really think about that in terms of recipes because your mashing schedule, the health of your yeast pitch, that's what affects. I
was just wondering based on
gravity.
Like the recipe said because
it's certainly a little drier than what I got it, but I was a little bit too high in starting gravity.
So there's first question. Well, let's go through the evaluation.
Okay.
All right. The appearance is a nice dark brown to black color for sure. I think with a little more time in the keg, the carb level would be higher, but this is going to have a nice tannish head when it gets there.
Ooh, yeah.
No ruby highlights or anything like that. Certainly
no,
like
it's
brown.
pretty dark. I mean, it's solidly dark. I can't even pick up really any light going through it. So this is actually, I bottle conditioned this.
Oh, okay.
So
it's getting there.
So the only reason why I point that aspect out is that it's even though it's super dark and you really can't see through it, it's bottle conditioned and it's relatively clear actually. So that's cool.
On the nose, plenty of dark fruit, roast, no hop presence, just malty goodness.
Yeah, it's a big malt nose for sure.
The mouthfeel is fairly full, like medium full.
Yep. I think combination of the barley, the flaked barley, and the oats definitely are giving you some great mouthfeel.
Yep. It's velvety smooth. It has certainly the oats, and maybe even the rye are bringing that.
Rye malt definitely would give you some body too.
Yeah. So I think that's what that is. So again, I was listening to the recipe, but I was really thinking that this has like some kind of high Lovabond crystal in it. Like,
No, so that would be like the one real common denominator of not having in a dry stout would be some
sure.
crystal malts, right? Relying all on like that base malt, marisada, to give you biscuity, all of that stuff, right? But I find in the flavor in this, there's a really nice chocolatey, subtle roast character coming through, which is pretty pleasant. Right? It's not, maybe if it fermented drier, the roast would be a little sharper, but I sort of actually like the way that this balances with the residual sweetness. I think the most unique part of it is that touch of rye malt in there to sort of bring a little more body. Maybe a little zestiness. I don't really pick that up in the recipe, but I mean in the beer. But I do like what it appears to be doing for the beer.
Certainly the EKG, the Challenger, they're just background notes. Nothing really strong there. And this, kind of plays like that chocolate milk chocolate stout that I brewed. I think this is what it seems like. So I guess, maybe with some more time in the bottle to condition more, maybe it'll express drier, especially maybe we're picking up do you think we're picking up any priming sugar here or anything like that? Or no?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty well at that point. I think it's, if anything, the yeast is just struggling to carbonate under these conditions. But I haven't bottle conditioned in a long time, but this is how I made it happen. I still think it comes out as a pretty winning beer. I love the recipe format, and I would probably brew it again like this, and I would just pay a little more attention to my boil off. Is basically how I ended up with too much oil, and maybe slightly higher efficiency too. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to his efficiency versus mine when I was scaling the recipe down.
Right on.
So those are all things you got to worry about when you're working with recipes for the people, which is why we're doing viewer recipes.
Yes, so that it's not just shipping us beers.
So that we can make mistakes and you can learn.
And we can learn as well.
But this is a pretty pleasant mistake.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I think that body and the roasted barley is like tricking my mind into thinking that there's like that chocolatey, there's almost like a vanilla component to it, even though there's nothing in it that should be making it seem vanilla. West Yorkshire does bring to the party that some fruity esters, which I think are working really well with the dark malt.
That.
Right.
Yep. So. I think that's the winning combo. It's the roast. It's the roasted barley along with those flaked grains, right? So we got oats and rye to bring the body, which is delicious. So what a winner. All right. Number 2 on the old viewer submitted recipe, and it's a winner, as we say in our neck of the woods. All right. Well, thanks so much, Mike Miller. I don't think we have locations. It was just basically emailed in. So thanks so much. Appreciate it. We'll post the recipe in the description, and then we'll follow it up on the old blog later on once the video is up and running, and we'll link back to the post for sure. We do still take viewer submitted recipes, so if you want to email us, it's dudes@brew-dudes.com. We took a whole bunch of submissions sometime last year, and we're going to plow through them. Yes, that's how we're going to do it. Just eventually. So, you can always add it to the list. It's the randomizer that chooses it for us, and then we just brew it up. So we will be getting to more of that this year and for years to come. So thanks a lot for the recipe. We appreciate it, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Check out more of our videos on our channels. We do have other viewer submitted recipes, at least one, and we'll put it together as a playlist, so check that out. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, brew on.
Cheers.